Talking Trash with Mike, Nikki, and Debo. Good day to you, fellow dumpster bees. This is Nick from the Trashgoblins. Mike and I got to finally record with one of the other goblins, Deb Hrycaj, who is an amazing cosplayer, effects makeup artist, and all of the things. Also, super fabulous wrestling mama. She used to do semi-pro, I believe, wrestling under the name Jet Riley. So we were super excited to talk to her, and it went on for a while. So this is going to be a long one, guys. Buckle up. Yeah, we got all her links in the notes. So that's Deb Hrycaj, also known as SovereignTeaCosplay. Sovereign like a queen, tea as in the drink, cosplay, and also Sovereign Tea Customs. She makes rugs now, which is very, very cool, in addition to all of the other things that she does. So, yeah, it's going to be a long one. Like I said, buckle up, stay tuned, and talk to you on the other side.
So hi.
Hello.
So Deb, like, I still am not 100% sure what you want to be called by other humans. Are you a Deb? Are you a Debbie?
I typically go by Debbie. Like the longest answer is like I hate my name, period. And I wish I could change it.
Yeah.
So like when people are like, is Deb offensive? I'm like, it's whatever. Honestly, yeah, and Debbie is I get the archetype of like the dumb friend, you know, and I'm like, what, this sucks.
I don't think I'm familiar with that archetype.
Oh my God. It was like in old like Nickelodeon shows where they had like a friend, Debbie, and she was just so dumb. And I was like, why is this the situation? And also everybody else named Debbie, like I have an Aunt Debbie. Everyone I know has an Aunt Debbie. They're all in their 50s and 60s. So I'm like the only one my age.
Yeah, I have a cousin named Debbie that's 50.
My fucking mom is
Karen,
so I understand that a little bit.
Yeah, my mom was like, oh, this is my sister's name, and did not think about the 90s at all. And I was just like, here I am. Here we are. If I could, in my wildest dreams, if I had to stick with Debbie, I'd be called Debo.
Debo!
Like from Friday.
Hell
Debo!
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Debo! Yeah. And I'm like, that's legit.
Man, if you could...
Why can we not do that?
Yeah, I was going to say, you can absolutely do that. I was dropping Deb
like,
Faye on her
Debo.
for a while.
A friend told me I had to earn that name because he's a bully in the movie. And I'm like, do I have to steal some bikes? Like, what do you...
I was going to say, yeah. What
do it.
Just steal some bikes. Quintessential 90s bully move.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'll need an update on that. Like, I need to watch like modern kids shows and be like, what do bullies do now in shows?
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Tease people on tease people on TikTok. Right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, them shits were real specific in the 90s. It was ass whoopings and like dunking you in the toilet. So what is it now?
Speaking like your mom doesn't validate your existence, and I hate that name for you. Is what that is like.
You know, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, so talking about how I started interacting with Debbie is, I just said turlet, and I remember one of the first conversations we had was you cracking up about me saying turlet, and you're like, oh my God, I have family that says that too. I remember that was one of the first
my
discussions.
Favorite thing from you. Yes, the Chicago accent kills me. I'm like,
right.
That makes me miss home. It makes me miss home 10 times more since I moved to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
My O's have been getting real O's up here. I really, so when you do it, I'm like, home.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, because you used to live close by where my family lives still. You were like a Kedzie-ish area, weren't you?
You're in Cicero.
Now
right?
I'm in Oak Lawn, but I used to live.
Okay, right on.
I used to live right there, Archer and Pulaski, right by Curie High School.
Yes. Oh my God, yes. I was at 63rd and Pulaski.
Yeah, there you go.
My whole family's from there.
Yep.
You know, the Southside Irish archetype. That's
Yep.
them. 100%. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm sure that was like
So
we didn't even figure that out until later. So we were already bros before we figured that out.
Right.
I
I
actually
was like, you live where now?
Now we're in Oak Lawn.
That's sick.
It's like
well, I'm
5 minutes away.
there sometimes. I'm there sometimes.
Right.
I'm
What were you
mostly
saying,
in
Nikki?
Georgia, and like, so talking about the O's, I was like, yeah, I went to visit some friends for the first time in like many years over the holidays while I was home.
Mhm.
And my friend Laura was like, Nikki, I think you said y'all like 5 times in the last sentence. I was like,
It happens
I've
so
always
fast.
said y'all a lot, but I guess it's
Yeah.
a lot worse now.
You
Something
just
about
leaned right in.
Midwesties going to the South. We pick up that y'all real quick, dude. I was a goddamn chameleon in North Carolina. I came back with I named my
Yeah.
goddamn possum a cooter. So
But the thing
Well-
is, like, we say y'all in Chicago too, but it's almost always followed by motherfuckers, like
Yeah,
y'all
yeah.
motherfuckers, you
It's
know.
a
So it's
different
not.
y'all.
True.
Yep. There's different channels how the Southern gets to us.
Oh man, just don't come north. Like the northern more you go, I'm getting close to like Canadian. I had a
Yeah.
client. Oh my God, this is the most disrespectful story. I was so upset because I did not want to move up here. I moved up here for my boyfriend, and I was like, all right, I like him, but the state, okay, whatever, I'll take it. So I had a client, and some influx in my voice, and I was like, come on with me then, yeah? And he was like, God, I love Wisconsin. I was like, oh, are you not from here? And he was like, oh, I am. I just love your Wisconsin accent. And I was like, stabbed right in my guts. I was like, how dare you, sir? Ew.
The shit they used to sling at me, because I went just for a semester, but I went to St. Andrews in North Carolina, out in Laurinburg, North Kakalaki, in the middle of nowhere. So, you know, I was like the city boy, and everybody was like, "Oh my God!" It was such a big deal to them, and the urban legends that they threw at me, they were calling me weird shit, like they're like, "Oh, Chicago, like Calamity Jane, pew pew." I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
What the fuck?
That makes no
What?
sense. Just anything that involved a gun or crime, they were like, "Oh, it's you, huh? How many bullet holes you got in you?" And they just started like that was my role, like the big city rough and tumble kid. I'm
Oh
like,
my God.
fucking shitting me? You guys have like, there are guns in both of your pockets right now, and you're calling me the rough and tumble.
Right.
Yeah, shit was
Calm it down, country boy.
absolutely.
Goodness me.
But again, I came away with it with the name Cooter, so I'm fine.
Cooter?
Yep, as a cultural touchstone, I do believe Cooter was the best thing they could have given me. Have I never told you the
All right.
story?
No, Cooter.
Laurinburg.
No.
So Laurinburg, North Kakalaki, was this little tiny town. The only thing there is the school. And at the time that I went was like 2002 or 1 or 2 or 3, something around there. No, it had to be like
Sure.
2004. But anyway, this is right when, you know, all the DVDs were kicking in and VHS was still kind of a thing. So the only place to get them in town was a barn that had been converted to a video store. And so we would get videos from there. We would go to Wendy's afterwards. We would go home and we would watch the shit, or go back to school rather. And every night we would go to Wendy's, and the dude that gave us our order, his name was Cooter, said it on his name tag. The dude was the only guy who had any fucking chill in all or in all of Laurinburg. And so we just kind of hung out with weird old Cooter. And he had like the heaviest accent, like, y'all fixing one of those. He sounded like Fuzzy Lumpkins from goddamn Powerpuff Girls.
Oh my God.
But
Yeah.
I loved that dude so much, and he just kind of like stuck with me all this time. So Cooter absolutely made it into my lexicon, and now finally I have an opossum that I named Cooter because of that friendly little country fella.
And an opossum of all things too.
Yeah, of course.
It reeks of in memoriam
Yes.
of your experience.
100%. And that's the reason I named him that. I told people that opossums are basically half hillbilly and half demon. So one of the possums is Cooter and the other one Asmodeus.
Oh my God. magnificent.
Yes.
Chunky boys. I love them so much.
Super chunky. Oh yeah, wait till you see the fat boy up close.
They are so chunky.
Nikki,
I love it.
He's officially 1/3 heavier than Gamork. And Gamork is our big floofy black cat.
Oh my god.
Oh my
He's
god.
a monster.
These potatoes.
I mean,
oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Your boy is sack of potatoes at this point. He's monstrous.
I love
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Oh my god. But I want to squish him.
Eventually. You'll get there. We'll get there.
Oh, yes.
One of these days we'll make it to one another's parties somehow.
Some man, right? We've been inviting back and forth for like 4 years now.
Yeah.
Being like, come out.
I was
And we're like,
seriously almost
"Ah!"
like, Mike, we need to go to this New Year's Eve party. But then I was
I
like,
know.
but also traveling on New Year's Eve.
I
just
was
can't.
gonna say we had so much shit going on at that point, but man. So
It was nuts.
Can you tell us? So like y'all's parties are freaking legendary, and I know this before having ever been to one. I've been telling people about the party where you set up the whole house to look like the Nostromo from Aliens.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Can you talk about that a little bit? Because I've seen the pictures, but describe it to Nikki.
Oh my god, we have no chill is the problem. So for our Halloween parties, we have a full theme. We literally start planning earlier in the year, trying to come up with ideas. We sit down August 1st. Sam prints out a picture of the layout of our apartment, and we're like, all right, let's make a plan. And we literally build and transform our entire place, like full haunted house style, into whatever the theme is. And that was our sci-fi horror party.
Yeah, man.
And then we have the Facebook group. And if there is a strict theme, we have people claim dibs on characters and whatever costume that they want to make. Because say, like, we usually do an annual Batman party. So if we have a lineup of Batman characters, it's incredible. We want the one person that shows up as that character to be the embodiment of that character. We don't want secondary,
of course.
And so we want like a good spread, a good diverse
well, and also in that
set.
particular cast, you would have like 3 Batmans, 12 Jokers, and 56,000 Harley Quinns.
Right.
Yes.
So, and okay,
Absolutely.
wait. 72,000 Poison Ivies. Sorry.
Yeah.
Forgot about them.
Exactly.
If cons have taught
So
me
that
anything.
And it's so much work, and we spend way too much money. But Sam and I are theatric entertainers, and no chill. Even I've made it worse. He had the Batman party before he met me, but then I have this like ADHD being both like to my detriment and to my personal power. That my unlimited imagination is like, we can do anything under the sun. And he's like, whoa, dial it down. And I'm like, watch me, we can do this. And I love it. The strongest example of that is at the sci-fi party, I wanted our back hallway to look like the Aliens, like catacombs, like the H.R. Geiger, like rounded out.
Yes.
Like people are stuck in the wall situation.
Yes, I saw.
And Sam was like, yeah, he was like, that seems like a lot of work. And I was like, he's like, I don't know, like maybe dial that one back. I had already secretly purchased everything I need. And I was like, he was like, all right, I'm going to work. And I was like, bet. Okay. And I did it by myself. And he came home to an alien wall with a person in the wall. And I was like, watch me succeed. Thank you.
God.
Yes.
Do you mind if we put up, like screenshots or like pictures of this party?
I was just gonna ask for that. I'm like, can we have a gallery for that? Would you be okay with that? Would you?
Oh my god. My cosplay page on Facebook has all of them, all the parties via album.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, nice.
So you could easily easily find them. Yeah, for sure.
Nikki, they had cryo chambers. They had like the actual screens from the Nostromo itself. They had like the whole freaking like little tiny details. This is the stuff I dream about doing, but do not have anywhere near the energy for.
My God.
I know. I'm like, with all of our powers combined. That's why, like, really, that's part of the reason we started the group, was because it was like, as we get older, the energy just wanes, or it's just split in so many different directions. So trying to do that, like, we used to be able to pull that shit off. Like, I turned my house into like a speakeasy when.
Oh my God! Yes.
Not nearly.
That's fun.
It's like not as near to the like point of decoration. I think that something like that would be. But like, it was a 7-course dinner for like 25 people.
Oh, that's lovely though.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So
you also sent me out that day though, for that party to get a bunch of shit that was very 20s-ish. So you definitely had the decoration going on. Plus the basement in that house especially looks like.
But the effort of that versus like turning the whole house into, we did hide everything that was modern and like make it look like the house originally looked in the 30s. So we did do some things, except for the kitchen, because like we need to cook. But it was food is priority.
It was no xenomorphs coming out of the wall, but it was definitely 20s.
No, and it was, so like those kinds of things, we've done before. We've done some pretty sick Halloween parties, but it's not, we've all wanted to do stuff like that, but I'm just like, I don't have the energy to do it by myself anymore.
Right.
I don't like, I have X amount of time. What can I get done with this amount of time?
Yep.
While all these other things are happening. So it's like
I said, it takes us 2 months, 3 months actually. No, it takes us 3 months to do this. And then the November 1st, we're like, oh no, our house. What do we do? And it's it's so much.
The Christmas tree is still up. B, Our Lady of Sorrow is still hanging from the tree out there. I haven't brought her down. So
maybe TrashGoblins HQ will just be an all seasons house.
I think that's what's gonna happen, man. I'm just gonna throw like a Santa hat on her. She's gonna get some Easter ears, whatever.
That's a great idea.
Yep, that's happening. That's what I used to do with
decoration.
Yeah, I used to do it with the wraith on my balcony. Just whatever hat was appropriate to the closest holiday.
I love that. Cupid's wings, get a little bow and arrow.
I didn't even think about that.
Oh my God, delightful. Leprechaun hat, go nuts.
On that terrifying thing, it's so perfect.
Yes, and that's what makes it.
I'm glad it's set back into like the tree line enough where like it's not totally clearly visible from
you gotta look for it. If it was just right out in the open, I would have taken it down by now. But I love that every once in a while somebody will walk by and be like, "What the shit?" and look up in the tree.
That's fantastic. Yep. It's now the lore of the neighborhood, I'm sure.
Oh, I guarantee we're making urban legends by the moment.
That's
as
cool.
We live here.
I love it.
So what I'm between Debbie and Rosie, if we moved them to our neighborhood, Nikki, we would own all of Oak Lawn.
God,
you have no idea, man.
Oh my God.
There's like a dinky little haunted house that they do around here every year, and we didn't get to go to it. But
really?
I talked to other people who have done it before, and they're like, "Yeah, it's kind of cool. Like you go around corners and animatronics pop out," and I'm like, "We can do better than this."
Oh my God. Animatronics. My Krampus is still up from Christmas. I bought
Hell yeah.
Krampus animatronic. Yes. I'm in love with him. Oh my God.
My big thing though, like now on events, is we can't even, actually for Mike's birthday party, he had a solid showing, it looked like. But like
amazingly so.
Yeah, but otherwise, trying to get anybody to do anything has been the literal worst. Like, nobody wants to commit to anything. This was already before COVID bad,
I was
like
gonna
with
say.
People getting busy and nobody wanting to commit to things. And then, like, my friends and family are all Northsiders for the most part. So, like, they're like, oh, God, it's so far. I live in Georgia now. It takes me half an hour to get to the freaking grocery store. So I'm like, what do you mean far?
Yeah,
20 minutes.
Right.
Like,
I mentioned this to Patty too. I was like, Patty, you can come over more often. And she was like, no, you live far. And I'm like, maybe you live far. And she was like, oh, how dare you?
Yeah. So it's like trying to get anybody to do anything. I'm like, come on, guys. Like,
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And so like that's been discouraging. So it's like then you go through all the work and all the effort, and then like you get 5 or 10 people, and then but after COVID, it's definitely dwindled down.
It's the zombie game all over again when that shit happens. But
God, I still want to do that though.
We'll get to it one day.
That would be a blast.
You know about it too.
I remember you showing me about it.
Yeah.
You showed me pictures and videos and stuff. Yeah, that looks amazing.
Yeah.
That looks like an amazing time. If I lived closer, for sure.
Yeah.
Without hesitation.
If I had no ideas for the Halloween party, that might have been what I tried this year. But I'm thinking about it for next year or the year after. I threw away a lot of the original pieces for it because I was so sad and frustrated. I was like, I don't want to do it anymore. But
dude, we have the main one, and that's 0. So as long as she's still kicking.
Exactly right. 0 and like a treasure box is all we need. Everything else is just juice.
Yeah. We like the juice though.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean,
speaking of Halloween, we already have our theme set.
Oh, what are you doing?
Year. Oh, I don't know if I could say it out loud yet.
We
like to keep the secret.
Yeah,
but the trailer has been cut. It's just waiting.
Really?
Yeah, we cut full trailers. Yeah, the trailer's cut, and it's disgusting. I'm so excited.
I love you.
We haven't thrown one since COVID. Really, like not a big to do.
When was the Alien one?
Oh my God, 2019.
Oh shit, was it?
Yeah, 2018 was like classic Halloween. Yeah, that one was a blast. The kitchen was Oogie Boogie's lair.
Hell yeah.
I made Oogie Boogie's lair. Yeah. Incredible.
I love it.
I'm excited to spend a stupid amount of money again and just build stuff.
It's worth it.
Haunted houses, hire me. Public service announcement.
Honestly.
Haunted houses. Hire me, please.
Right. Well, I'm sure between like you, me, and Nikki, a ton of horror people, right? Isn't Katie?
Oh,
your friend
absolutely.
Katie is like huge
My
horror.
best friend is a haunter. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's delightful.
We have all the ends.
Yes. Oh my God, yes.
Oh, so sidetracked here. I wanted to ask more questions about you specifically, but we're just kind of going off tangent here.
I think that's good.
I would love to know. So one of the first things I remember about you from when we met a million years ago is you were wrestling for a while. You were Jet Riley, correct?
Yes, I absolutely need to know more about that.
That's what I said. I was like, you and Nikki got to talk about this shit. Because I remember when Glow came out and Nikki you lost your fucking mind and you were like, oh, this is the coolest shit. And I was like, immediately, you must talk to Deb. So talk to us about Jet Riley.
Oh my God, where do I even start? Like, what do you want to know? There's so much to even talk about.
Yeah.
I
never saw that actual part of you because I don't know if you were at the end of it or just I never.
You were so like you wrestled and like you had a persona. I'm getting from all this. I don't know all the details. Mike just has mentioned in passing that you wrestle and stuff, and I'm like, what does that mean though? There's so many things that could mean. Like she was a high school wrestler. Like she did some like events, like she was in the WWE or what?
I have seen a picture of her with blood on her face in some sort of spandex situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Oh my God, I know the exact picture you're talking about.
Disgust. Also with a huge smile on your face too.
I was stoked. God, it was amazing. I was alive. Oh my gosh. So it was like WWE style wrestling. A lot of people confuse it with the high school wrestling, like we were just grappling and stuff, but it's the full theatrics. You have a character and it's this larger than life like story, and I was what is considered a face. I'm a good guy. I was the only female in the company the whole time, so I only wrestled men.
That's amazing.
The whole time.
Yeah.
That's can relate.
It was nuts. I branched out a few times. I wrestled for a company called Shimmer, and that's an all-women's company. They brought in some women to wrestle me on occasion, but for the most part, our main storylines consisted of me fighting dudes. And oh my gosh, where do I even start? I didn't watch wrestling growing up, like not a whole bunch. Like I have 6 brothers,
Oh
and
Lord.
they did. Oh yeah, the rough around is there. Um, I had a friend that was into it, and I wanted to see what he was up to that weekend. I had nothing else going on, and I was like, "Hey, what are you up to?" And he's like, "I have a show," and I was like, "Huh, can I go?" And he was like, "Yeah, come on." And that was July 4th, 2008.
Nice.
And I
Wow.
absolutely fell in love. Absolutely fell in love. I was like, what am I seeing? Murder costume gymnastics is incredible. This
Yep.
is crazy. I was training by November of
Oh my
that
God.
year. I trained for, yeah. I
I
was like,
wish I
I'm
had
on.
realized earlier in my life that that was a freaking option, because I would
Isn't
have
that crazy?
100% done that. But
Oh man.
we were growing up in the age of backyard wrestling. That was like a thing. So like,
Oh my God.
we definitely had that in our neighborhood. And like, I had a
So
persona,
many
which was
wrestlers
very
come from
stupid.
backyarding. Yeah. Oh my God. The amount of people I knew that did backyard wrestling, like they put mattresses down with the garden hoses around
Yeah.
it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that sounds like a death trap, honestly. So
Yeah. I mean,
I'm
it
really
never
grateful.
really got to be anything. Like, I think we mostly
Mhm.
just like wanted to feel tough and like we were doing whatever. But I always like tinkered around with different martial arts and like things. So like, it's always kind of been in the back of my mind. And I mean, I hung out, I similarly had like one brother, but then a bunch of boy cousins. So
Yeah.
so the like impetus to watch and do all of the quote unquote boy things was there and already in front of me all the
Yes.
time. So I like got into it and, eventually got out of it. But like, then, many years later, started training MMA a little bit, like not a lot. Like there
Oh,
wasn't a
that's
lot of
awesome.
sparring, and it was mostly just Muay Thai, and again, like not a ton of sparring because it was at a pretty crappy gym. They didn't really have good gear.
Hold
and they
on,
didn't
really
want-
quick. Can I
Yeah.
just take one step backward? And you were like, it was no big deal, just kind of Muay Thai. I just want
Well,
to
that's
acknowledge that you said
awesome.
Muay
'Cause
Thai,
it's-
which is
well,
like the
'cause
most
it's-
murdery.
No.
The most murdery.
Well,
I know
I guess it kind of is, but like it's
hyperbolically, but it's pretty up there.
But like the thing is, like, if you're not really sparring, you're just hitting pads and bags and stuff, and that's a lot more what it was, is technique and blah blah blah, practice circling. But like, you're not really sparring, and that's the thing, is like, when you're training those things, you're not, even when you're sparring, like, you're not always really sparring, So like, I had but it was all a bunch of very large dudes that I was doing that with, and I was having I'm 5'1", so I was having a very hard time
Whoa.
trying to punch in the face these guys who are 6 foot something tall. Like,
Yeah.
I was just like, how do I do this? And all the
Oh,
guys were
God.
like, you do jujitsu. And I was like,
That's fair.
what is
Yeah.
that? And they're like, those Russian guys that come to class, and like the sweaty ones that like are sweaty and totally destroy these mats before we come in here. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, gross. I don't want to do that. And like, so,
The
many years
sweatiness
later,
jujitsu.
well, like all of it, the contact, like everything, like I was like, that looks just gross and weird. I don't know about that. I feel like I would have a serious trauma response to that. And then
being held and like put into like this
pinned
chokehold
down
submission.
Yeah. Well, because I mean, it's full on, like, that's murder. Like, jujitsu is freaking murder. It's just, but the whole thing is you're trying to avoid murder, so you just break bones and choke people out instead. But it's like, yeah,
Why did I get excited? That made me stoked.
Oh wait, so that was the whole point. It was a big tangent, but like, so I got into jujitsu from like, one of the things that made me turn a corner on that was freaking Glow came out, and I was like,
yeah,
oh, I see it now. Oh shit, I see it now. Like, and it also made me realize, like, actually that kind of embodiment might be really good for me in healing some trauma and some other things. So like, I started getting really into the idea, and then actually when I moved to Arizona, they didn't have like a MMA gym near me, but they did have a jiu-jitsu gym near me with a significant women's team. So I was like, cool, I guess I'm going to try this. I'm probably going to hate it, but at least I can say I tried it. And like I have been fucking hooked ever since. I'm actually going to compete.
Love it. Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to compete in the World Championship this year.
Oh my God, we love to hear that. Take them down.
We'll see how it goes. But
that's so exciting.
I'm only a blue belt, so it's not like I'm a black belt. Like, yes, I'm one of the best in the world. But like, because I'm in the upper, like what they call the Masters division, because I'm like over 30, right? Like, I get my own 5-year bracket. Everybody, there's always brackets and stuff, but like, there's never, like when I do local competitions, there's never anybody in my bracket. There's nobody my age, my weight to fight. So
I'll come fight.
I'm like,
you.
cool, I'm gonna go.
I was hoping that phrase was gonna come out there.
Yes.
I just heard the level of excitement in Nikki's laugh that you don't hear very often.
But that's,
oh my God.
It taught me a lot though about like, especially with other women, like a lot of the groups that I roll with are like, they're like hashtag not your competition. Like, we're going to slap bump, we're going to do our thing on the mat, and then we're going to get off the mat and we're going to go to lunch, or we're going to get beers, or we're going to, probably not that because most of those girls don't do that. But like, like,
God.
so we're
we
besties.
love healthy competition.
Yeah.
We're here for
like,
the sport.
I didn't know those things could exist. And I actually just found out like the top placing world champions from last year, like, because they similarly didn't have anybody in their division to train with. The 2 top women trained with each other. They're both going for like the title, and they both like, they're like, let's just like, so they knew each other's game the whole time before they were going into it. And they were like, yeah, we love each other.
Gambit stuff. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, that's so fun.
Right? I know. But yeah, that's very exciting. So, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to stop it. I was just like, yes, I totally get it.
Yeah. My God, speaking of like 6 foot tall dudes, I'm like 4 concussions deep, I'm pretty sure. Several injuries. My first concussion came from a guy. So how wrestling works is that the first thing that people say is like, oh, that's fake, isn't it? And you're like, ugh. All right, first of all, pause. The way I like to talk about wrestling is that when you're in there and you learn it, it feels very Grecian in nature, in the sense that like you're in this Coliseum and it's this larger than life, like good guy versus bad guy. It's comic books come to life, truly, where you embody the persona of whatever position your character is aligned with, and you sell that, and you're in there with an opponent, but you're not really an opponent. You're both there to tell a story together. And it's performance art, truly, because there are very specific methods to it, where there's points in the story arc that have different names, and you hit those points in the ring, like when the bad guy takes over and he starts beating down on the face, right? And he's
the heel, right?
Wearing the face down, and the heel and the face, and the heel starts just tearing down the face, and it's the face's turn at that point to start looking at the crowd and getting some energy of like, I can get up from this, and you get the crowd behind you, and you want them to believe in you, and all of a sudden they're cheering your name, and then comes what's called the shine, and you get a second win. Think Hulk Hogan when he starts like shaking
the
and standing
power up.
And he starts hulking up, right? And he's like, and the crowd is losing their minds, and he gets this big win, and he's like, well, bam, right? So it's kind of like it's entertainment in the fact, like when you go to the movies, you check reality at the door, and you're there to just take the ride. Like, we're not worried about whether it's real or fake, or we're here to perform and tell you a story of good versus evil, and the complexities that come with that. And then you just add stunt work and the costumes, the theatrics, the whole thing. I will say on that front, the hits are so real.
Yeah.
The hits are stupid real. I've bloodied up several times, concussed, several injuries, torn muscles, whatever. And then on top of it, to get into the ugly side of wrestling, it's one of the most toxic environments I've ever been in. And for some reason, being the only girl, like, I sold it enough that I was an underdog based on my size. Like, I didn't have to do much. I just had to be there and be like, hooray, I had a big spirit, right? And some of these guys just really, they didn't even have to do much to hurt me to like come across as a bad guy. It was so easy. Like a small woman, one punch, and everyone's like, "You're an asshole, boo."
Yeah.
But they got off on just beating the ever living shit out of me all the time. And there's certain signals we give each other in the ring if it's going too hard. Like, I'm seeing stars constantly. There's certain chokeholds that people put you in, or they'll choke you on the ropes. And I started to black out, and you do like a little pinch on their boots secretly to be like, man, let it up, you know? And they never did. They never did.
Wow.
And you just endured. Like, yeah. And I didn't gain any real respect, like walking in as a woman. Day one, they were like, they literally had bets in the locker room being like, she'll be here 2 weeks and she's out of here, you know?
Yeah.
So like I was
mean,
pushing a boulder uphill trying to catch this respect. And it wasn't until the first year of just taking absolute beatings that people were like, hell yeah, you're here. And I was like, did I have to be abused for that? Fine. Like, cool. My goodness.
There's definitely that culture with jujitsu too. I've tried to avoid. I've been very lucky that the people that I've trained, like when I came to Georgia, it was like a whole new group. And then that group turned out to be mostly, there was one female, the rest guys. And now we train mostly with law enforcement and like military, prison guards, like that kind of thing. It's like we actually train in the sheriff's training facilities for that county. Actually for the like several counties. And our coach is like, he trains all the people in that area for self-defense. So it's like, it was totally different, but like all of the guys were pretty clear on the, like, we don't break our training partners rule, you know, like I've never had a problem. Like sometimes stuff happens, right? Like you overexert, you twist the wrong way, like stuff happens. It's just going to happen. Right. Like I'm rolling over somebody and I take a boot to the face, whatever, you know, but like, no, at least in that regard, nobody's trying to intentionally hurt each other, at least unless you're in a competition. So, and even then, like, you really don't want to do that. But like, you know, a lot of people have had their limbs broken because they didn't tap or whatever, right? Or passed out or what. Actually, a lot of the women I know, like, they're like, I'm never tapping to a choke. I'm blacking out. I don't care. Nothing's going to happen to me if I black out. So,
you know, honestly, that respect.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, we try not to do that, but like, you know, the rule for the most part is like, you don't break your toys. Like, you don't break your training partners. Right.
Yeah.
Because then otherwise nobody wants to train with you. And they, you know, they have things called mat enforcers, usually at a lot of places that are more open to the public. We train privately, so there's no like randos coming in for the most part. That's sort of where you get in trouble, or where I've found trouble. But there's definitely gyms that are not like that. There are a lot of gyms that are very much like, you know, like sink or swim, you know, like you're in the Shark Tank, and if you can't handle it, get out of here.
That's so rough. At least there's some level of regulation. The thing about wrestling is, like, people are fans as kids, and they're like, oh, I'll just walk in and train. So it's like anybody off the street can just do it without any enforcement anywhere, because there's a lot of shadiness. There's a lot of grimy owners of these companies. There's like, whatever, kid, it's so toxic. The hazing was incredible. I didn't get it as bad as like older generations did, but man, if one person in our group mouthed off or didn't do something, the worst one that we had was we did just about 400 jump squats because one guy messed up and refused to apologize. And I had to be carried to my car, and I had to wait for my legs to wake up after 400 jumping squats when all the veterans just watched all of us rookies just jump squat for close to an hour and a half.
Jesus.
And it was insane. And then the guy who got in trouble was like, I'm tired, and like stopped doing it. And they just kept it going longer simply because They're like, oh, he's not even doing it. You better keep going until he gets up again. You're like, damn,
Gross.
this is rough. Like,
Super
yeah.
gross.
So the hazing is we would train until we threw up. We always had trash cans off to the side, 4 hours, 5 hours, just running drills in the heat. Just no ACs in these places. Just it was crazy.
Yeah.
I've never been in better shape though. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, I bet.
So
the only I actually did I was conscripted to be a backyard wrestler a little bit in slightly after high school. I didn't choose it, but it was like, well, everybody else is doing it, and they need another guy that's like gigantic, so I guess I'll go in there. And so, you know, I was a gigantic punching bag. I was their target. I was there like testing, like, can I do this on somebody this big? You know what I mean? Yeah. So even though I was never really in the culture, I still was tossed around a bunch. You know, I took some falls off of a garage roof, landed on some fences, did all that stupid dangerous shit. I had no formal training or whatever. They were just like, you're huge. You've seen wrestling before, right? And I'm like, yeah, in like 1994. And they're like, fuck it, good enough. But yeah, and it was just us friends in the backyard fucking around. And even though I think some of them had like aspirations to be professional wrestlers, so they started to take it more seriously, and they wanted me to too. And I was like, I'm cool with keeping my spine intact. So
no thanks.
You guys go do you. And then I hear stories from people who've been through the real process, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, did I dodge like 20 bullets dodged out of the way there.
It's abusive. Yeah. But we're like, we love it. You know what? The phrase is in there being like, all of it's worth it for that 20 minutes.
Yeah.
In the ring. You know, and that's the truest thing. The 20 minutes to perform and tell your story and have the crowd behind you and your fan base there. There's truly nothing like that energy. And I understand now, like all the guys who retire, who have beautiful retirements, like Ric Flair, and you know, and you want to believe like, oh my God, this is it for them. They always come back.
Yeah,
it's
they always come back.
Drug. It is such a drug to be in front of that crowd, and then you get addicted to taking those hits.
I was gonna say the adrenaline rush alone.
Oh my God, yeah, absolutely incredible. But there came a point where like, because I'm a massage therapist, and there was overlap between me wrestling and me massaging. And I was still wrestling for about 4 years in the beginning of my massage career. And I was like, you know what? I think I got another concussion and I hurt my shoulder and I could not work. Whoa. And I was like, this is a reality check for me. Yeah. Where my students say it too, because I teach massage, and they're like, it's funny how you go through this process and all of a sudden you're like, any small thing that happens to me means I can't do my job. And I'm like, yeah. I faced that exact same thing where, you know, Sam saw me wrestle for the first time and it was coincidentally my retirement match. So he's hit first for him, last for me. So I was like, yeah, wow. He had never been to a wrestling show before. And he was like, oh my God, this is crazy. Yeah. And I jumped off of a turnbuckle to tackle a 6'2" chick. And he was like, who the fuck am I dating?
That's incredible.
Yeah, and I drop kicked her knees out because she was tall. I had to wear her down, obviously, part of the story. I'm small, she's big. How am I going to do this? And he recorded that specific moment. He was like, what the fuck have I gotten myself into? You know, and after that, I was like, I think that's it for me. I think I'm done. I can't do both anymore. So I chose my actual career.
Yeah. Oh, man.
So
it's one of my favorite things when I meet up with you at C2E2 and I introduce you to any of my other friends who've never met you before. Mm-hmm. And I just have that in my pocket. I don't tell them that you was a wrestler or anything like that, but this little teeny tiny super upbeat smiley chick is like the most murdery thing in the universe. I'm just like, I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna keep that just to myself. It's the
secret
best.
Scrappiness, love it. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, for the longest, when Sam and I first started dating, his friends were terrified of me. They were legitimately scared. They're like, I'm not gonna fuck with you. Like, but
sounds legit to me.
I was gonna say, yeah. That's you're on that territory too, Nikki.
It's just wise at that point.
Yep.
Oh yeah. I mean, I go into like, and it's not to say like, right, I don't practice a lot of stand-up fighting, right? So like there is a high percent chance that if somebody manages to catch me off guard and I can't get them to the ground, then I'm in trouble. I'm in big trouble. You know? But if I can get them to the ground, which I'm skilled at doing,
Yeah, you are.
then
it's over.
it's over. Yeah.
Fold them up like a
And-
pretzel. I love it. Twist them in.
Yeah. So it's like,
So
you know,
cool.
you definitely get into a point where like, I don't know if you've ever, I'm sure you have, like experienced going somewhere, and especially when you're like somewhere there's a lot of sort of like macho energy and a lot of tough guy stuff going on, and you're just like, I could whoop your ass.
Fight me for real. Yes. Oh yeah.
I'm like,
the
I
Chihuahua
am
energy comes out of me
1/5
pretty
your
strong.
size, and I could whoop your ass.
Oh my God, the fight me energy. Everyone always says, like, because I had 6 brothers, they're like, oh my God, you must have got picked on so much. And I'm like, I ran that house. What do you mean? Are you kidding me? I'd get hyped watching some like kung fu or like anime, and I'd be like, where are they? And I'd go hunt one of them. And I was like, we're fighting. That's what's happening. And they'd be like, I'm trying to chill. And I was like, I don't care. We're boxing right now.
Yes.
So I was the force. Besides being the only girl, I was like, I will fight everybody in this room. All 6 of you, let's go.
Yes. Really quick, this kind of has nothing to do with anything, but it has everything to do with everything. Do you hear about the thing Michelle Yeoh did at the Golden Globes where the piano player started playing her off?
No.
I looked up this is the actual quote. So I guess she was doing her speech, and then the piano starts to play her off, like, get off the stage, it's not your time anymore. And she said, shut up please, I can beat you up, okay, it's that serious. And she started like really mean mugging this dude, and this is Michelle Yeoh we're talking about. So it's that energy God. Made her like my goddess immediately.
Amazing.
Isn't that great?
What a legend. Yep. Yes.
Love her
but
so
like
much.
I mean, seriously, right? Like, especially growing up, like, you know, the first thing I ever saw her in was Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and I was like, yes, I've been waiting for this.
Yes.
This is what I wanted Mitsu to be in the goddamn Ninja Turtles movies, and she wasn't.
Yeah, Michelle Yeoh's been a queen forever. But like lately, man, did she really just step into everything she was meant to be.
Oh, I know.
God, love that. Also, with the bigger stars, they give them more time. So like, how dare you?
Right. She won like every award in the universe.
Man. God, what a queen.
She really is.
What an absolute goddess. Love that.
And of course, like, all I'm seeing about any of that is people like reposting Jamie Lee Curtis's reaction, but nobody's talking about, like, I haven't seen a lot of people posting anything about Michelle Yeoh just being a badass queen.
Absolute bad bitch about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all over my feed, but I'm curated.
Yeah.
I mean, mine is too, but
primed.
Yeah.
Oh man. I mean, mine is too, to a point, but like, I don't know. There's a lot about the algorithm that I clearly don't understand.
For sure. Yeah. I don't understand people or the logic behind the programs that run them. What were you saying, Debbie? You're saying something.
No, not really. I was thinking very loud. Did you get that? Did you get my transmitting thoughts?
I'm not wearing the tinfoil hat, but I can bust it out if needs be.
Okay, right on. Block it. Block all the signals from me because they're here. And they are cancerous indeed. So protect yourself, please. No, I was just gonna say, like, I've been seeing a lot of Brendan Fraser.
Oh yeah.
And that reaction. I think that was the same show. That was the same show, wasn't it?
Is that the one?
Or was that a separate show?
Where he was spitting at people because they didn't like follow him for his other projects?
No.
Which one was this?
Where he was just tearful and being like, "Thanks for giving me a chance." He had 2 different speeches this week.
That's what
I've just
saying.
been drinking it in. I'm so happy for him.
He's been everywhere and he's been fantastic.
I'm so delighted.
Finally,
he's back with us.
Right.
My God, the one thing the internet's good for, you know.
Right.
We all rally. We're like, we love this man so much.
Yep.
Goodness.
Found him and pulled him back. Yeah, he's been through some shit, and he's definitely getting what he deserves finally.
It's his big return.
Yep.
His comeuppance. I love that.
So, are you going to be at C2E2 this year?
I am.
Sweet.
Hell yeah.
Yes. I'm excited.
Time to
Can't
start
wait.
developing world domination plans, y'all.
Haha, perfect.
Oh my god, we didn't even talk about your cosplay yet.
I know.
Oh my
One
God.
of the main reasons we came
I was
here.
like,
Get into it. Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, I don't know. I knew she was a wrestler, so I'm like, I'm gonna have some questions about
I
that.
figured that was gonna go a while. So I had known you for a while, like through online, but I never actually met you until you were the oh my god, what were you? Was it Ogre from Mortal Kombat? What was the actual
Kotal Khan.
Kotal Khan, that's what it was.
Kotal Khan, yeah.
Yes, I saw you as that just off in the distance, and then we recognized each other and we're like, oh, and then from then on
Yeah.
what a huge cosplayer you were, and the stuff you've been in is incredible. We've got so like you for the trading cards, you gave me Torbjorn, you gave me the Blood Queen, and then you gave me Garalt, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you have such a huge backlog of other stuff that you do, but that one I remember was the first one where I was like, holy shit, look at this crazy person who's like 2'4" but covered in green and looking like a badass.
Barefoot is all hell, just walking the con floor. Yeah.
Absolutely amazed by it. And then from then on, I was like, oh shit. And I started following all your stuff.
Oh my God, thank you so much.
I mean, I know it's like Sophie's Choice, trying to figure out which costumes you want to like represent yourself as. So,
and this is the moment for like shameless plug. What are you on Instagram and Facebook? Just so that anybody listening can find you.
It is SovereignTeaCosplay. Sovereign TEA, like spill some tea, sis. Like
right.
SovereignT cosplay, and that's the same on Facebook as well. A little bit on TikTok, not a horrendous amount. That was more quarantine. Let me paint myself during the day. Yeah. Let's bust out body paints. I'm bored, you know.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Kotal Khan, like I have some like love shame with Kotal Khan because that was the first set of armor I'd ever made. That was the second con I had ever been to ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
I had just started like earlier that year.
Holy crap.
I built that Kotal Khan. It is so ugly, but I love it.
No, it is not. I've seen it up close. I didn't recognize it was you because I saw the outfit first and was like, holy shit, that looks incredible. And when I came up close, I'm like, I know this weirdo.
Oh, yay.
Yes.
Oh my God. Looking back at it now, like, with improvement in hindsight, you know, of course, I'm like, I didn't round like the shoulder things out. My braces are flat, and like, and everybody's like, I didn't even notice, and I'm like, I noticed though. And
yeah, no, of course.
Yeah.
Any artist, cosplayers in particular, cosplayers are always our worst critics.
Yes.
Oh,
so critical. So.
Yeah. Yep. I had I did the sheep. I'm gonna do the sheep prop booth again this year, I think, for a little bit. And they proposed a bunch of panels on one of them if it gets accepted. But like last year, I was working the booth in my Mondo Gecko cosplay, and you know these women were like trying to compliment me, and I was like, my face is falling off. I look like shit. I can't. Like I was so stressed out because it looks so bad.
So nice. So maybe with this, hey, word to the wise now, we're all going to be con crunching very soon and stressed out and be like, this sucks, that sucks.
I know.
Step back and think of yourself as like a general person and just look at it. And I'm like, a general person might be wowed by that. That's fine. We're going to be okay.
Well, one of the things I like literally work on in therapy is the self-talk stuff and like for everything. And the way I've had to phrase it is like, when I hear it in my own head about myself, I'm like, would I say that to my best friends? Absolutely not.
Right.
Never.
I love that. So when you look in the mirror and you're like, stop being mean to my friend.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. I love that.
And Nikki's done that to me already a couple times when I've talked shit about one of my projects. She's like, quit talking about my friend. And that already puts me in a different headspace. It's a great tool.
crap. I love
But
that.
also, I think like that said, emotional support groups like we are.
Yeah.
I think like we need to be that for each other because I am so like I don't know how I'm gonna do. I'm not even making. I think I only have one new cosplay, and then I have to redo my Mondo prosthetics again, which I have down pretty well at this point. But like I'm still like, dude, I have 3 months, 2 months, oh god, 2.5 months, something like that. And
Don't say that. My
I know.
stomach just dropped to my asshole. Wow.
Yeah. And I'm like, it's not enough time. It's not enough time.
I didn't order my stuff yet. I'm like, I got time. I thrive under procrastination, though, as I'm sure most of us do.
Yeah.
I built Torbjorn in 10 days.
Get the fuck out of here.
Paint was drying in the car. Yes.
Well,
God.
That's definitely my style, too, nowadays.
Yeah.
Just such a turnaround, man.
Yeah, I had a day off. I spent 15 hours straight hunched over painting it.
Yep.
And I was just like, why do I do this to myself every time? Why do I do this?
I've actually
when I was
stopped
younger.
doing that because I can't, like my anxiety is too bad otherwise. Like I can't, I'll lose it.
Good for you.
So.
I thrive. I feel like I just become supercharged with procrastination.
I just don't have that much time. Like right before, I would not with work. There's just absolutely no way I could do it. And at this point too, like I think so many of the more recent cosplays I've done are like things where I'm experimenting with crap I have no idea about. So it's like the unknown, you know, like that I don't know if that what I'm thinking is going to work is going to actually work.
Right.
That's the part that I think makes me like want to claw my face off because it's not just to like let me throw some things together like it used to be.
I don't know when I had the turnaround because I used to be like that. I used to get my stuff done earlier and start earlier. But then the procrastination thing, you know, more and more as I got older. But I obsessed over like, crap, is this going to look good? Crap, is this going to look good? You know, it's going to look terrible. I don't know when the turnaround. I got to really sit and think about it. But at some point, I was just like, you know what? This is just version 1.0. I'm going to make it. It's going to look shitty, but then I'll make it better over time. So once I got okay with, you know, the first round being kind of meh, then it was much better for my mental health.
I think it's a trust thing too. Like when you trust yourself that like whatever happens and however wrong this goes, I know I'm going to fix it.
Yeah.
Like I know I'm going to hobble it together enough that it'll hold up for the con. Shit, the last time I wore my red Sonya armor, that thing was literally held together by safety pins. I was a fast stab away from my boobs being out at all times. And I had no backup plan for that. No backup plan.
Wow.
So I was like,
that's the thrill. Like we're out here. I love it. Yes. I'm the exact opposite. I'm if I don't get it right the first time, I'll never do it again. I'm like, I wear this once.
Really?
I get my pictures done. I'm not going to touch it again. Wow. So I'm like, you better do it right. And each costume I've traversed something completely new every single time. I'm like, we're going. We're just winging it. Let's figure it out. And I don't know. I'm flying by the seat of my pants at all times.
Yeah.
And being like, we got it. We're going to be fine. Yeah.
I think that's my biggest soul crush is we never plan pictures. And like, we try to take them ourselves. They're always bad because like, frankly, it's never me holding the camera. If it was me holding the camera, they'd be stellar. Right. But boys don't see the same things that we do. So like,
yeah.
So I have to say, like, I'm always at the mercy of dudes like holding the camera, looking up at me. I'm like, oh, get the fuck out of here.
Right. And I have to say, finding a photographer has been the biggest game changer because you stress and you stress and you stress. But the moment pictures are done by a professional, my photographer, Wes, is incredible. I love him so much. He's so talented. I can't handle it. Nicest dude on the planet. I wanted to give him some props there. Shout out to Wes. Amazing.
We will put his information in the show notes.
Yeah, we'll
oh my God,
everything.
Please, yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God, we love him so much. Yeah, he does mine and Sam's photos. And the moment you get ready and you're like, I'm getting ready for photos. And the second photos are done, nothing else matters. And you're like, I'm chill. I could take this off in an hour if I wanted to. Now I can go talk to my friends. Like I have the most solid, like non-face melty, non-falling apart version of this captured. And now it's all good.
That's a good point.
So I can be at peace.
You look at it from a different angle than I do, though, because like I love getting pictures taken of me, and I love like more than anything. Well, no, but the part that I love about it isn't that I want them taken; it's that people thought enough of me that they wanted pictures taken with me.
Oh, that's different.
Oh,
that's
with
different.
people on the con floor. Yeah.
Right.
That's
so like
fine.
I like being dressed up for people that interact with me. And so like I'll endure the goofy ass costumes and feeling terrible if I can make somebody smile or laugh or something
absolutely.
like that. But the camera part is the part that I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck to do here. So I would rather dress and look like an asshole to interact and be a fucking clown for other people.
I get that, and like I feel the same way. Like I don't mind. I like posing. I mean, I'm terrible at posing for pictures in general. If other people are taking them and they're not like me, that I'm getting them back later, I'm like, cool, fine, you do whatever.
Yeah.
But like anytime we've even had professional photos taken, or like that guy that I'll have to tag him too. I forget his name now, but the guy who put us in that reel from C2 this year.
Yeah.
Like I was like, you could tell that I'm just being awkward, and he had to like shorten it because I was just being so awkward. And like, because as soon as I have a camera in my face, I shut down, and I need to I need to work on it. I have like
that's
mad performance anxiety. I'm like, that's part of the reason I'm competing this year too. Like not in the cosplay stuff, but
which
in
is
the jiu-jitsu stuff.
Which is also doubly weird because you've been in front of people and on stage singing and being a musician forever, but for some reason the cosplay portion like really throws you for a loop.
It's the same when I'm on stage. I just had a long talk with Laura about that. Like
really?
I've always had stage fright. I've always had. Well, no, I know exactly when it started, but I for a very long time had performance anxiety. So it's there when I'm on the stage. I just know I trust myself more, and I know how to move through it a little bit better.
Okay.
But like my mindset going into a con when there's a camera in my face is like, I'm going to look awkward and stupid. And then I do look awkward and stupid because you know what I mean?
You're projecting that. Yeah.
Right.
The only reason I bring that up is because, so like you've never seen her sing or perform, but like Nikki has like the most hardcore Janis Joplin belting ass voice. She's like 2 feet tall, but her voice is 8,000 feet tall. So when she's when she's on a stage and she's in front of people, she owns that room. So that's why it always trips me out when like I hear stuff like this, because you look like you're so much in command when you're on a stage.
Wow.
No, it's completely anxious anxiety, and like but like I know I've done it more. Right. And that's actually, so I've recently learned that's how you get over something like that, is you do more of it.
Right.
And like, it's essentially like, what's it called? Immersion therapy, you know? And so like, that's really the only way to move through some of those things. And with the cosplay stuff, you know, the bane of it with the cosplay stuff. And I'm kind of glad that we had not yet really paid for professional photos yet. I mean, I would have loved to see my younger self in professional photos.
Yeah.
But like, but like at the same, and like, you know, some of those costumes, I'm never going to put that shit on again. I'm never going to rebuild those things. And I don't have very good pictures of them. But that's the thing. That's exactly it, though. It's like, I really wish that, especially for the ones that I only did once or may never do again, that I had better pictures of them. Because then otherwise we wait till we're in the con, like on the con floor, and that lighting is fucking terrible.
Worst goddamn lighting.
Atrocious. Nobody looks good in that lighting. That's why I'm like, the pictures that I get can't just be from the con floor, because my God, it is rough. That was so much damage to my self-esteem.
We always make plans to take pictures outside or beforehand or something, but I always get ADD'd out or something happens where we just don't do it. And
no, I'm gonna actually hire a photographer this year because, well, like first of all, that the guy who was the Raphael that we did like a brief thing with last year wants to do an actual one this year with us.
Yeah.
So that's part of the plan, but like also I want to get professional photos done this year because I can't do that Mondo again. Not have pictures. Of that.
Nikki, I would say like maybe it would help. Like what I think helps me the most is you're not really you know, when you're in cosplay, and like you've stared at reference photos forever and you've watched the media that your character came from, you know exactly how that persona would be. It just comes with some acting in a sense to like behave like this character.
That's the thing, is like when I'm portraying a character like that I feel very much in tune with, it's easy for me. Mondo is easy. Red Sonja, if I'm doing like a dwarven Red Sonja, like a more like haha, some ale and not serious and I'm gonna fight you and kill you Red Sonja, I can do that. But like if somebody's like, which is hilarious, right? If somebody's like look like a badass and like look like you're gonna chop this guy's head off, I'm like, no.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah. When I see your whole demeanor shift when people try to give you stage direction for photos, you're just like, fuck you, I don't want to do it that way, basically.
Yeah.
Which is super fair.
Like Azula, I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun with. Because she's just batshit.
Pause, hold on. Are we really doing Avatar group?
Oh hell yeah, we are.
We're for okay, hold on.
It's gonna be a cabbage cart and everything.
Oh yes.
Oh my god. Okay, hold on. I know I said my god, I'm blanking on her name right now. I just watched Avatar
Kyoshi.
2 days ago.
Warrior of Kyoshi.
Yeah, Avatar Kyoshi. That would be a Soul cosplay. Like, I want that so bad, but my goof self so badly. I need to be King Boomy. I need to do that giant. I know. Oh, we said the Fire Lord Ozai for you.
Yeah, I know. Everybody wants to be Boomy. He's the best.
Oh my god, I want that hump. I figured out how to make my one eye like bigger and crazy, and I could just run around being like, and I'm like, geeked on that idea.
I could make prosthetics for that. I would like love to make prosthetics.
Oh my god. I'll probably just do Kyoshi because that's fun.
Once you said Fire Lord Ozai, like I couldn't not see it. I just never considered it before.
Oh my god, you have the height, you have the hair. Like,
so like
you're
as soon as you said it, I'm like, oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. I really was like, but Mike as Boomy would just be just so good. It just
I would have more fun as Boomy.
Delightful to see Mike as Boomy. Like the character component alone.
The only thing I will say that is like, sticks in my craw sometimes with Mike is that he will not do anything about his facial hair. That's going to be the way that it is.
I can't do it. I can't.
So, Fire Lord Ozai it is.
I feel like the grossest, like naked hot dog face person ever if I don't have the face pubes, man.
He didn't even fully shave it so he came last year to Georgia for the Ren Fair here, and we did Sorsha and Mad Mardigan. And he didn't even fully shave his face.
Nope.
He just kind of like a little bit lessened the amount of facial hair.
I made it
and
like 8 o'clock shadow.
Hated it. Like he did not want to see any of the pictures of himself. And I'm like, okay, we're never doing that again.
Yeah.
Not worth it.
It super sucked. And it sucks because I know I would fit so many more outfits if I did some facial hair reconstruction, but man, I'm gonna have to find some way to be okay with myself when I don't have face pubes. It's really tough.
Yeah. Hey, we all have our struggles, right?
Yeah, man. That's the biggest one for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you guys have plans for C2E2 already in the works?
Like for costumes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I think Friday the plan is to do Baxter Stockman and Mondo Gecko again. If we can get anybody else to jump on the TMNT train, great. If not, if not, that's fine.
Yeah.
And then Saturday is I'm assuming we're gonna do Avatar on Saturday because that's like
I'm down with whatever days we decide what. As long as I get to do the things, I'm happy.
Right. I think Saturday is the day that almost everybody from the group is going to be there.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that is going to be the day that Avatar happens.
Okay.
And I have to check with Chris and Amanda about that. But I know, and we'll have to, really, this was Alyssa's idea, Alyssa and Dan's idea. And
I know you take credit for it.
In the cabbage cart. You were like,
yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Mike has been wanting to do just generalized benders for things for a long time.
I just like the style of that universe, but I'd never actually chosen a character to be.
Right. And you know, we talked about doing that for Ren Fair one year or whatever. We've bounced it back and forth a bunch. I'm usually the one that's like, I don't want to do it. And I think partially it was because like the easiest go-to for me would be Toph. But I'm like, it's too close to home, guys.
Oh, it sure is. You basically are.
She's the best, though.
So I just, you know, I don't know. I've gone back and forth about it. And obviously now I'm fine with it. Once I was like, wait, Azula. All right, we can do that.
Yes. So cool.
I think the third day, one of the days is going to be that. The last day is going to be like, it's kind of like question mark. I'm probably going to do Squirrel Girl just because that's my, that's become like my token costume now.
Wait, we've met in person.
Did we?
I met you as Squirrel Girl.
Yeah, absolutely.
When?
Yeah, we talked before we started doing the recording. It was a C2. I ran up to Mike like, "Wah!" And you were right there.
Yep.
And I met you formally.
Yep.
Mike introduced us.
Yep.
Okay, I know that I met you before. I knew that I met you at C2E2 before, but like Mike also knows so many people that at those things that I'm always like, I don't know which one. Or I remember meeting 5 people that day and they never looked the same because we're all in freaking costumes.
Yep. Yep.
I don't even remember what I was wearing, to be completely frank. If any. I was just in street clothes, I think.
One of those days you were in just street clothes, but every other time we had seen you, you'd been in something.
Been in costume. Yeah.
What was the last one? Pietro? Yes, that was the best. That was so funny. You were so goddamn excited.
I was so happy to be in Pietro. Honest to God, like that made me so happy.
Yeah.
It was obnoxious. It was a pain in the ass to make.
Oh yeah, you showed me.
I never want to touch Tool ever again. Yeah,
yep.
I'm over it. Yeah. God, I made 540 Tool panels.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
With ribbon on the end to make this sheep silhouette.
Oh my God.
I didn't want to look at my sewing machine again. I could have punched it. I was like, I'm over this so much. This sucks.
I actually brought a guide to sewing book back from Chicago to Georgia so that I could actually do a real a grown-up cosplay job on Azula and not just like, that's good enough. I use one stitch setting for everything.
Yeah,
which is what I've been doing for years. Now I'm getting to the point where I'm like, I don't want to remake.
Let's do it right. God, yeah. I haven't done one.
Sewing, so we're gonna learn.
Good for you. I don't think I've done one completely right yet. To be honest, I've just been like, whatever, it's together.
Especially like being in some of these chats with like some of these ladies that are like competition winners. I'm like, oh my God. That stuff makes me like there's absolutely no way. Actually, while I have you guys on, I have a question because I'm starting to pull stuff together or think about what I need to pull together for Azula. And I'm going to do like, the Fire Lord version where she's got the like shoulder armor stuff kind of. Do you think I should do that with like stiffened fabric? Or do you think I should do that with like foam or warbler or something?
I'm trying to figure that out myself, actually. I'm
biased to foam all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Foam is great.
Yeah.
It's super cool. Yeah. It's super versatile. But we also have the warbler to play with now. We have.
I feel like I would want to use that on like real armory pieces and not like a shoulder situation.
Sure.
Because that, like there are other things like for example, the Sorsha armor. There are things where I think that could have made it much easier.
Yeah, for sure.
For the front plate armor that she has, that's what I should have used for that. Because what I used was like in the Georgia sun, gone. It was good.
Yeah.
I bet. Oh my gosh, I can imagine.
It was no good. So that's a situation where I'm like, Warbler for sure. But
I think for this, because I'll have the same shoulder panels too as Firelord, as Ozai rather. I think if we do foam for that, it'll be good as long as we texture it the right way and it's not like too glossy.
Sure. Okay.
Use the fuzzy side of the setup instead of
something like that too. You can't really tell from the cartoon whether it's meant to be armor or it's meant to be part of their clothing. Yeah.
I don't know if it's a cowl or if it's a gorget or something.
Sure.
I also thought about just like using the foam to hold the shape and then putting fabric over it.
Yeah.
But
I did that with Garalt. It's all foam, and I put leather over all of the foam.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. We need to.
Yeah.
I need you to eventually do that again, and then I need to try to find a Yennefer version of Yennefer that's better than the ones that I see everywhere.
Oh my God! Wait.
Mike is convinced I look like her. I don't think I look that much like her.
No, I'm gonna show you a guy. You show her the picture after this. You look just like her. God damn it! She looks like the Yennefer from the first season. Holy crap!
Oh, okay.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
It was exact. Anybody that I showed that to, it's either
Post-transformation,
like,
though, right? Like,
it's one of those things. I really like messing with makeup and making my face look like different things. And I've had people like, "Oh my God, you're like a chameleon." I'm like, "No, it's just makeup, and it's not even that much makeup."
You even make up her little slight butt chin and everything. It looked just like her.
That's true.
Oh my God, yeah. My Garalt didn't survive.
Oh, okay.
Did not survive.
I
did a photo shoot in COVID in the middle of the summer, and for some reason I always use barge cement, and I don't know why I decided. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna put this chainmail on with hot glue because I made chainmail out of foam.
Oh yeah.
And it was, I think it was something like 99, 100 degrees out that day. We did this photo shoot, and I forgot my water in my car half a mile away.
Yep.
And I was corseted in with his corset, and we're shooting for 2.5 hours, and all of a sudden the tunnel vision starts, and I was like,
no.
Oh my God. And then like the chainmail's popping off.
Yep.
And like I'm losing my vision. And one of the girls who was there, her husband ran for his truck and was like, wait there. He came in and cranked, he threw me and like literally was like toss in the car, and cranked the AC. I've never ripped that armor off faster. Everything's falling apart as I'm taking it off. And I was like, why did I make that choice?
Yeah.
I've been verbally against using hot glue, and I guess I was lazy. I was like, yeah, whatever.
Sometimes it just seems like it should be the correct choice, but it never ends up being that way for hot glue.
Yeah.
I know.
So I had to toss it. It was just it imploded on itself.
Yeah, I've ruined plenty of cosplay.
Man, I had my 3D printed sword in the car. I just tossed it in there, and when I was taking everything in, I was so like dehydrated. I was so hungry, and I was like, let me just get in the house. I left my sword in the car. That was 3D printed. I took it out a week later, and it was a literal S.
Yep.
I was like, there goes my sword.
Oh no.
It's done for. To
be perfectly honest, one of my big things about like not wanting, I would do it for a photo shoot maybe, but like not for a con. It's like, that's just a dress. You know, like they're kind of cool dresses. It's just a dress.
Oh, for Yennefer?
It's not enough of a.
Unless you have a Garalt with you,
right?
You know, or like yes, what's his name?
There's just nothing about that costume or anything really about Yennefer that speaks to me. So I'm like, I could do a good cosplay of that maybe, but like, and also as stated, not the greatest of sewers. I would figure it out for that. I'm sure there's patterns by now. But like,
absolutely.
It was one of those things where I was just like, I'm just not motivated enough by that.
It doesn't hit the heart quite the way it should for you to make something.
I wouldn't feel cool walking around a con wearing that.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to. Like we've talked about that a lot. Like we really want to do a lot more commission stuff and like stuff for other people. Because like the things I would love to make versus the things I would love to walk around in, not the same. Just super not the same.
Yeah. Hey, that's fair.
I love all the cool techno shit, the Destiny armor, Warhammer armor and stuff. I don't really want to wear it. I just want to make that. Same thing.
Oh, that'd be sick. Yeah. Imagine being in that too.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Like there's this one guy.
2 hours tops.
There's a guy that goes to PAX.
Were you at C2E2 this past year?
Yeah.
Okay. So like I didn't know this at the time, but like I guess the way that they did the Crown Championship last year was all kinds of weird. So like they had people standing around and that stuff for 2 or 3 hours. Like they called them to the stage to like twice to like get announced, and then they had to sit around for another several hours waiting for results because like it was all the people that I had encountered
goes. Yeah.
But the
Sam did
ladies
Crown
were
a couple years back. Yeah,
Oh,
and I
okay.
squired with him. Yeah, I was helping him out.
So
He
you
took second
squired.
place in armor. Yeah, I squired him around. Gave him snacks and juice and like just making sure he's good. Yeah, he was around in that costume forever. The line, we stood back there for the longest time ever. Just to even walk the stage, and then you have to wait in
Yeah.
it in general. But the nice thing is that you go there, you can sign up for a time to see the judges. And if 5 p.m., like, let me go talk to the judges in this costume, like, you don't have to be in it all day. Like, your time is reserved.
Oh,
So you're
okay.
not like in it the whole
Yeah.
day,
So this
but you have
one,
to be in
like
it
they
to
made
see them.
them
And yeah,
this last one they made them wait the whole day in the costumes. And they were like, I just
gross.
heard, yeah, because there were some of the ladies at the sheeprout table were either involved in it in some way or the other, and they were talking about it, and I was like, that they all just looked so tired. I'm like, do you need water or beer or something? And then they told me
Oh my
about that, and I
God.
was like, oh my God, no. I don't, I mean,
No,
like, there
thank
are
you.
definitely I think most of my cosplays I obviously could wear around all day because I do. But like some of the stuff that they do for those
Some of these big
competitions,
ones,
I'm like,
man.
no,
Oh, no,
no.
thank you. I could
And they
not
also
imagine.
didn't do categories. That was, I think, what really
Yeah,
upset people.
That's
everybody
really
was screaming
bizarre
about
to
that.
me. Yeah, everyone's there. I think they're switching some things up again this year.
Yeah, that's
I've
what it looked like.
I've heard a few things. Yeah, because people were throwing a fit. Like, how are you going to put sewing with special effects with armor?
Yeah,
Right.
How do you judge them between each other? Like,
absolutely.
that's really kind of not great.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I like we've talked about trying to do like if I found something like I wanted to do that I thought would be competition worthy, that'd be something, but I can't. Like to this point, there's nothing that I would enjoy making or
Right.
wearing.
Plenty
That
we
would,
can, but maybe
yeah.
not stuff that we want.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a big goal of mine to do the crown. I want to so bad. Like, I'm chasing gold. I'm like, I need to win something. I feel like I'd be excited sometime eventually.
I heard that one of the nights, maybe the first night or something, there's some kind of a like, it's not the Crown Championship, but it's like a fan favorites or something like that cosplay
Yeah.
event, like on the stage. And somebody last year was like, you absolutely need to do, like, it was my Mondo costume. They're like, you absolutely
Yeah.
need to do that in that costume.
A
And I
fan
was
favorite
like,
thing.
no.
No,
So.
like that would be the only way I would get up there if it was a fan favorite thing and not like a full professional judging thing. If it was just something where like the crowd was like, yeah, this one's great, I'd be down with that.
That's fair. Maybe. I don't know.
I think my goals are purely driven by the fact that I have to work in a workshop across from Sam, and he is so decorated.
Oh,
and I'm like, I'll get mine someday. I swear to God, I'm like, I need it.
That's a good setup though, like that friendly rivalry. Like, I'll get you one of these, one of these, motherfucker.
Oh, each time I build something new, I aim for him to say, "This is the best thing you've ever made." Like, I chase that dragon. I want that approval so bad from him.
Oh.
And like, he has done nothing to be like, catch up, kid, or anything like that. He's like, you're amazing, you're great. And I'm like, like, no, I will be someday getting something because the competitive spirit is very strong. I do have one award from him. I put my Torbjorn in Wizard World, and he got a judge's choice with his Hellboy. I didn't get anything, and then his Hellboy won second place in armor at the Crown Championships. And I was so upset. I built that Torbjorn being like, this is the one. I'm gonna win something. And I was so upset. And he commissioned an award for me where he was like, in my eyes, you won that night. And he's like, I wasn't even the best in our room. You're the best in our room. Like, you win. And I cried like a baby. And I was like,
man.
Thank you. But still, I need public validation. Thank you.
I will absolutely validate you in public, man. You know how many people I set
I'm not an artist until then. Yeah.
When you were Kotal Khan, I like was walking down the hall and was like, go look at her. Look at this crazy shit. I sent like 20 people your way.
Did you really?
I swear to God,
That makes me so happy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God. I have some big stupid plans for this year. I'm just going to keep climbing that mountain until I'm at the top, I guess.
Hell
like,
yeah.
I'm just going to keep pushing the envelope until some senpai somewhere will notice me.
I've pretty much tabled any cosplay ambitions for this year. I mean, like, I'm going to do Azula because it doesn't seem like it'll be that hard. I say that now.
Yeah.
Myself in a month.
Don't jinx that.
But I mean, ultimately, there's not like a huge armor or any kind of complicated thing I have to build for that. It's really just like clothes and the whatever the shoulder business is,
right?
Which is doable. But like,
and it'll be cozy, relatively cozy too.
Yeah.
Right, which is why I'm like, okay, we should do that on Saturday because I can dance in that.
Oh, that's a good point.
Cute.
Yeah. So, so we always do the dance party. It's my favorite thing. Last year, I think we were Casey and April O'Neil, and I did a jujitsu April. So I was just doing I was doing like front rolls all across the dance floor as jujitsu April O'Neil.
I would have been there with you, but my head was so broken. So she was on the dance floor, and I was literally laying on the floor around the corner next to the steps because my head hurt so bad. But I was close enough to be like, yeah, go for it, girl.
Wait, was that when I came to dance with you guys? With you, Mike? Was that the same thing?
I don't think I saw
We
you
sat
for
off
the
to the
dance
side
party.
for a minute.
This last year, I don't think I saw you at the dance party.
No. I don't remember, honestly.
Yeah, it was especially these last 3 were just kind of like all in a row.
Yeah.
This year's the year. This year is going to be my year of jiu-jitsu, and next year I'm going to circle back to con stuff. I just wish it didn't happen so early in the year. I don't like July. I liked December.
Right.
December was great. I wish they would push it back to December. Nothing else happens in December.
The December C2E2 was perfect.
I'm stoked they're so close together, in all honesty. They were like, oh yeah, 7 months from now, you get to go again. I'm like, yeah.
Oh God, man.
Right on.
It's made me not want to make costumes for the last couple of years.
Yep.
When we went from like so much time to do things to like, with COVID and everything, to being like, oh my God, in a 1 year period, we're going to have C2E2 3 times.
Yeah. and also remember, like, we also do Ren Fair, and I do PAX, and then we did Dragon Con that 1 year.
Yeah.
So like we have a big pile of shit in between. So C2E2 is like definitely our home con where we give it our all, but I still want to put effort in the other ones.
I'm trying to think of, I know like we talked about a couple of options for like big builds for next year to try to be like, what can we do next?
Yeah.
But at this point, I'm like, let's just get through this year.
Right. Our March is going to be ridiculous, and it's going to be great. And then we'll figure shit out from there.
That's so exciting. What was there? There was one more thing. Rugs. Is that what you brought up, Mike?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah,
you gotta see.
I was like, hold on, I'm trying to go through everything you said.
Right.
Yes.
So you when did you start doing this? Explain a little bit about this, because I've seen your finished products sometimes, and they're incredible.
Like 6 months ago, started making rugs.
Wow.
Like actual like rugs?
Oh yeah, check this out.
Yeah, send all the things, do all the things.
Okay.
Instagram for the rugs is Sovereignty Customs. Sovereignty spelled the same way as my cosplay name.
I didn't know you had a different one. Okay.
Yeah, I have my own Instagram for that one, and that one on TikTok is I'm a lot more active.
I'm adding that right now. But yeah, like you use like the tufting, was it tufting gun?
Yes, tufting gun. Can you hear me okay? I just got a phone call.
No, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. The story around tufting is the most ADHD thing I can explain about myself, and it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
I'm working on my office right now, which is our attic space, and turning it into my little sanctuary.
Speaking of things we should showcase at some point is that office.
Oh yeah, it's not done yet, but the tree is done. The tree could be.
We'll talk about this
for
later.
sure. Oh my God, the tree. So I'm in the middle of my office. I'm in the middle of making the tree, and I was like, you know what? I want a rug for this room. I want it to be Baba Yaga. I want her house
Oh my
with the chicken legs
god.
so badly.
Oh my god.
And then I'm looking it up and I'm like, this doesn't exist. And then Google leads me to people who like make their own rugs. And I was like, huh, okay. Now I'm going to spend $2,500 on a whole new hobby, derail everything that I'm doing, and I'm going to learn a whole new craft is what's going to happen now. And all the first few rugs I made were practice ones that I gave to friends. Where I was like, I should get some practice in before I start making these things for real. And my frame is massive. Most people make like a 4x4 or a 5x5, and they make these small area rugs. And I made my frame 8 feet by 5 feet.
Yep.
And I make these massive runners. I have a no-face runner, and I have Aku, the shape-shifting master
Oh my
darkness
god.
runner. And I'm working, finally, I think it's 8 rugs now. I finally just started Baba Yaga.
Hell yeah.
And I'm posting progress pictures on my Instagram all the time because it's the most massive. It's the first one that's taking up the entire frame. So we're working on my office, then working on a tree, to being like, new hobby, go. We're learning this whole new trade. Then I started my own small business. Have a few people lined up for commissions now for custom rugs.
Nice.
And then I took a break from tufting to then circle back and finish the tree that's in my office.
Yeah, the tree.
And, oh my god, yeah, I'm obsessed with it.
Did you? Quick question.
It changed the space. Yeah.
Did you make and sell the turtles rug that you were talking about?
The Ninja Turtles rug.
Yeah.
I sent you a picture of me making it. That was also a practice rug for my buddy Josh.
Oh, okay.
The man is huge into Ninja Turtles.
Yep.
So I tried to think of a few practice rugs I could make for friends. And that one was the first one where I did lettering, and it shows. It's the first time. For sure, it does. I was like, oh, he'll love it either way. And he does. He adores it. And no, it's been really fun to like gift people.
Hell yeah.
Like, surprise! Here's a rug.
Oh my god.
There you go. Yeah, they're insane.
I love it. But yeah, we'll definitely link all that stuff. I just added that your Instagram on mine because I didn't know you had a separate one from SovereignTeaCosplay.
Oh, yeah.
So we're all connected now.
Perfect. Oh my god, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
All the Baba Yaga stuff is on there today for the chicken hut house.
Hell yeah.
Sweet.
It's massive, and I'm overwhelmed. There is a picture on there being like, I colored in the tree that's on the side of the house and like 3 silver pipes that is like the drain on the side of the house, and that took 3 hours.
Holy Jesus.
I was like, what have I done? So,
I think I actually have one of those tools in our house in Oak Lawn from my grandma, and I've not ever messed with it. But
for tufting?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, mine's a machine.
Oh, it's
like some people manually tuft. Yeah, it's like a sewing machine.
She had one of those like manual ones.
Whoa.
Yeah, people who do that blow my mind. I'm like, I couldn't imagine. The Baba Yaga rug would take 8 months.
Oh, God.
I couldn't even begin to imagine. No, it's this machine. It looks like a gun, and you thread yarn through, and you just but, and yeah.
It does. God. It looks like a yarn minigun. It was really satisfying to watch people.
It truly
use
does.
This thing.
Yeah. It's and the sound is just wild when you hear that through the house. You know I'm busy. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Well, I was gonna say, I think I need to go eat dinner. I feel like I saw downstairs. I'm
right on.
Hungry, so.
Oh boy.
But it was
get you some food.
Yeah, it was super awesome to do this finally. And like part of the reason we wanted to start with you, because like we want to do more of these with more of the Trash Goblins.
I'm the first.
You're the first, yeah. Yep. And the reason being, yeah. Yep.
Whoa, what an honor. Thank you.
We're gonna get to Dee next month, but like she's gonna talk to me a little bit about like gender and cosplay and that kind of stuff, which would be cool. And everybody's welcome to join if they want to. But Mike actually already made you a little action card. Because like, I don't know if you've looked at our website, but there's like one of me in my Red Sonja outfit and possibly one of the Squirrel Girl. And then Mike has 2 for himself, and he made you one. You
were the first card I made besides me and Nikki.
Oh my god!
so we can finally put you on the card catalog.
Were they the ones you showed me? You sent me like proofs of things that you were making?
Yeah, I showed you the little preview.
Oh my god. What a delight. Oh, I know. I'm so touched. We've been wanting
to post them forever. And I'm like, well, I wanted it to go with like the podcast so that we can be like, hey, here's this person on our podcast. Here's their action card. And like, here's all their links. And also now maybe a gallery for your alien spaceship house.
Yeah. That is the coolest. Oh my god. And this group alone, like Trashgoblins, like what a ragtag bunch of raccoons and opossums full of people.
Yes.
Like, it's just oh my god. It's the verbiage that you guys have put into the site and like the quirky, fun playfulness of it and just I don't know. It's so cute and you guys are working so hard.
Absolutely the goal. Like,
I love it.
Nikki is like the heart of all this because like you're building all the social, all the website, all the tech aspect stuff, and I'm just kind of, I'm in the background doing the things I've always done. But you had to learn like a whole new set of everything to figure out this website, and you're kicking it out hard. So just realize how much work she's putting into this.
Yes. Yes,
I think
absolutely.
I started a little bit ambitious, and I'm now like trying to scale back. So I'm like, I'm not updating this shit every month. You guys are out of your mind. But
well, Jen, I really appreciate it. My God, what an honor to be here. My God, Mike, love talking to you. Always. You are. I can't even. You're sing my praises enough. Like.
You're what a weirdo. Sunshine
I love it. Too. My God. Delightful. Yes. So my trash goblin friends.
And my favorite thing is like we're gonna see everybody together in one place in like 2 months.
God, the goblin energy is gonna be out of control.
There's mini goblins. We have little babies that are coming that are trash goblins.
My God.
The goblins.
I love it. Oh my God, yes, just with our faces in the trash trying to find a munch of cheese. I'm so happy.
Yeah, that's me every day.
So good. Same, yes.
Yeah. All right, babies, let's go eat food. And man, it was great getting this all together and finally getting the mics to work. I'm really glad.
Absolutely.
So happy. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for taking the time.
All right.
I'm so excited. All right. We'll talk soon. We'll see our C2E2. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll talk later.
All right. Until then.
Bye, my little dumpster bees.
Bye.
This has been a production of Yuck Mouth Media.